Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/onrepeat. Only Omaha Steaks gives you the freedom to set your menu your way with no commitments. Choose extra-aged, hand-carved steaks, plump and juicy air-chilled chicken, and so much more. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Want to change your menu? No problem. Swap items, skip a shipment, or cancel at any time with no questions asked. You're in control to get what you want when you want it, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. At Omaha Steaks, it's all about you. Visit omahasteaks.com/onrepeat to sign up for recurring shipments and get 12 free burgers, a $431 per year value, and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.
This week's episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Ancestry Awakened. What is Ancestry Awakened? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Ancestry Awakened is a book of 40-plus new and reworked ancestries for D&D 5e. Have you ever wanted to play as a lycanthrope or a snowman? Now you can. Ancestry Awakened replaces the traditional race rules with the major-minor feature system, which provides a new way of building unique ancestries and characters. Choose from a list of features that you want your character to have. Now every half-orc, tiefling, and gargoyle can be different. Ancestry Awakened launches on Kickstarter on April 28th, 2020. Visit the pre-launch page to be notified when it's live, and tell your friends about Ancestry Awakened. Go check it out right now at bit.ly, Ancestry Awakened, ANCESTRY, Ancestry Awakened. Go check it out on the Kickstarter page right now. Ancestry Awakened does sound like a very good book that those of you who play Dungeons & Dragons would want to check out. Thank you, Ancestry Awakened, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Oh, tense times last time.
On Critical Hit.
Critical Hit. You guys. Let's see if
it's not your line. It's Rodrigo's line.
Let's see if the tension continues with Rodrigo. Where are you going to take us today? We're on a ship run by Ket, and it appears to be an Asmodean ship that he quote-unquote liberated. Yeah. All right, let's see how this works then.
He stole it. That's what he does.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
Last time
we met up with apparently a portion of the Bright Armada with Ket in charge, and
Admiral now.
Sure,
Admiral Longbeard Jackson,
and yeah, that's about what happened last time.
We made Orem and Ket talk about their feelings.
Yeah, right. They hate that.
And then I think the plan was we were going to go to Snapstab, or not. Was it Snapstab? It was what's it called?
We just came from Snapstab.
Toad's Boardwalk.
Toad's Boardwalk. That's the one.
And the Eventide Regent is badly injured.
Oh
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, because it got in the crossfires of a fight.
We will pick up, I guess, after drinks.
How many drinks?
As many as it takes.
You know what? I respect you.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Shut up.
We're in great form tonight.
I did mean drinks for the characters, but I guess whatever gets you through.
I mean, I'm in character.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long month.
So what is the plan? What are we going to do when we get to Snapstab? Or the Toad's Boardwalk or wherever we're going?
So you just came back from Snapstab.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to the Boardwalk.
Okay. And what are we hoping to do there? Isn't she still mad at us? Gamma still mad at us? I can't remember if Gamma's a he or she.
I think Gamma's a he.
You got
I think he's like
Gamma's
Yeah.
a pile of gold.
Gamma's a giant monster, so.
We are not his favorite people, but he still tolerates my existence because of what I provide him. So,
which is what exactly?
Well, patronage.
Mm.
To that strange gambling establishment.
Yeah.
And it remains neutral ground as far as we know.
It is. It has been neutral ground the entire time that I've been there.
Do we know where Gamma stands on the matter of Asmodeus?
About where we left him. He wasn't going to assist Asmodeus, but he wasn't going to stand in Asmodeus's way.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think as long as Gamma's got the Boardwalk, he doesn't care.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do when we get there? Plead to Gamma to help us, or is this where the Bright Armada is holed up?
I thought you said the. Actually, yeah. What is the Bright Armada working with Melora? We found a cleric of Melora scrying on us, and we assumed that he was with you, but we're not sure.
No one that I'm aware of directly.
So yeah, what's the plan to get us in? And once we get into the Toad's Boardwalk, what's next?
Well, that's where we've got all of our information, and we can figure out how to hit him where it's going to hurt the most.
So what is Asmodeus's ultimate plan? I mean, what is he? I mean, obviously he wants to take over this entire vertex. Is he also planning on taking over the other vertices?
I would assume so, considering he basically told us that.
I wonder if we could use any of that to our advantage. Do we have a way to quickly bounce between vertices?
No.
No.
I'm just thinking, we saw what happened to me when we were on the different vertices.
Mm-hmm.
Would something like that happen to a god if they went to a vertices where you're paper thin and can be easily cut to 1,000 pieces?
Well, what happened to you is because of your connection with the Feywild. If he's not connected with the Feywild, I don't think that would happen to him.
Whatever he is connected to.
I think the only gods that may be affected by that would be Coralon and Mol.
And Coralon is no longer?
Unclear.
Well, I'm curious what information you have, Ket, in this battle, and obviously you should know where Asmodeus is and kind of the state of affairs since you've been running with this opposition all this time.
Sorry, I didn't quite understand what that question was.
Well, so what's going on with Asmodeus? What is he doing?
He's moved his operation to Waypoint. As far as I can tell, everything else he's doing is to either prevent resistance or shore up his influence, shore up his domain before he presses on to anything else.
And do we know anything about Uranko? I mean, Waypoint was his city.
It was.
Presumably he's either dead or has made a deal with Asmodeus. But if you say that we'll have more information once we get to the Toad's Boardwalk, then perhaps we should wait to talk strategy until we've checked in with everyone else there.
I'm just thinking what Magoobliet had said, that if we can make this not worth Asmodeus's time, then he'll go away. He'll stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's I don't know how we make taking over the entire world and then a bunch of other worlds not worth his time. This is there's not like a shinier object that we can give him. And I still think that the gods were intending to play for keeps here. this is Lugubiet doesn't think that we can beat Asmodeus, but that doesn't mean that it's true.
And there's more than one way to look at the question of whether it's worth his time. It may just be a question of making something more trouble than it's worth. And again, what that means is, I have no idea. I don't think anyone does, but it's something worth watching out for.
I think we have to kill him.
I agree.
Well, there's the way that I see this, there's three ways we can go about this. We can kill Asmodeus outright. We can figure out a new treaty that excludes him or includes him. Or we just wreck this place.
This world?
I mean, we've got to do something to where this isn't worth his time to be here or to continue trying to take over. And
yeah, I'm not comfortable wrecking this entire Vertes in the hopes that he'll go somewhere else. That's
well, let's call that Plan C for now.
That's I
don't know that that's remotely a possibility.
Nor is it necessarily something I'm comfortable even considering. I mean,
it's kind of where I keep all my stuff.
I mean, that's true. I would hate for this place to go away. But we do know that if things get too out of control, won't the Queen's rebellious daughter and her team just zap this entire vertex and not give it a second guess?
The Queen's obedient voice is said that she's working on it, and that I hope that she'll take into consideration our desires to not have the entire Vertes destroyed. And so
just a couple quick notes. Queen's approachable voice.
Irreproachable, not obedient voice.
Second,
sorry.
The singular of vertices is vertex.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Editor's note.
I'm not going to make it more appealing for Oversight to destroy this Vertes.
Yeah, I think that's why it may be best not to try to build up revolutions and other vertices. Yeah, I think that just spur them further to crack down on us. And
also, considering Oversight's whole focus is keeping everyone in their Vertes, if we try to invent technology to get to another Vertes, they're likely to show up and try to kill us, and that's not what we want right now.
Well, if we don't stop Asmodeus, I really think that's what's going to happen, because they're not going to want him off his vertex and into other vertices.
Sure. If we don't stop Asmodeus, then I guess it becomes Oversight's problem.
That's why I'm saying that that's a Plan C.
Okay, sure.
That's not a plan.
It's not a plan.
That's a state.
Yes, that's us losing and someone else cleaning up the mess.
Moreover, it raises the question of whether this entire reality is better off being destroyed or under the thumb of Asmodeus. And to be honest, before I'd destroy it, I'd let him rule forever.
Tyrants can be overthrown. Destroying a world can't be undone.
I don't know that that's going to be our call unless we can figure out a way to.
No, we shut this down by shutting him down.
Great.
I really do believe, and perhaps if we can talk to Sarza or another god that survived that was in on this, we'd get confirmation. But I really believe that everything was set in motion explicitly to kill Asmodeus. I think that the reason why Corlon defied the treaty was so that that it would break down.
What if the reason he's stationed at Waypoint is because
he's going somewhere?
The god of travel, right?
Because he's going somewhere?
Yeah. What if that's why he's at Waypoint? Why?
Because he feels like he's already got the war here won.
Less that and more if the islands are as much a part of the god as the gods themselves, are they not?
Well, it certainly seemed that way with Great Tiger.
And with the Ulbergon. So you're saying that by taking the island, he would become god of travel?
Not necessarily become the god of travel, but use the island of the god of travel to
travel?
travel.
Yeah, that's possible.
What if we just blow up that island?
That's
With what?
Something really big.
Therein lies more questions.
I mean,
A-
that's an op.
Every island that we've been to has been inhabited by many, many people. And so I'm not comfortable just blowing it up, considering that there are probably people that are not necessarily loyal to Asmodeus there.
Not knowing anything about Waypoint, I think that really our speculation wouldn't be particularly helpful either way. I mean, what do we know that we know? We know that the Toad's Boardwalk remains essentially neutral. We know that Kunkanai may or may not be completely untouched inside of the storm. I mean, are there any gods that we believe that we can actually trust?
I mean, I think that we could probably trust Melora if we were able to reach her.
And Maguglia didn't seem to be a big fan of Asmodeus.
Sure, but he's also not going to offer us more assistance than he already has.
Yeah.
He sounds like one of the few that's actually trustable.
Yeah, I mean, if we had a plan, then maybe we could go back to him.
Yeah.
We know where he stands because he stands alone, which I suppose is better than being on the side of Asmodeus.
We know he stands against.
Somewhat off to the side.
While the Boardwalk is neutral, I trust Gamma Battlestars. I can throw him.
Mm-hmm. Do we intend to engage with Gamma once there?
Only if absolutely necessary. Reasonably certain part of why he's let me get away with as much as I have is because I've stayed out of his dealings and his hair unless the alley requires it.
We could potentially make allies with Mesco, considering she doesn't seem especially happy that the writhing nest is under Asmodeus' control.
Yeah.
And if we could we could possibly help Eldralale if we had enough of a force to stop the troops that are laying it to siege. But anyways, why don't we get to this is all very theoretical until we have more information. I think we should, once we get to the Toad's Boardwalk and meet up with the rest of your people, see what information they have, and we can be better informed what our next steps should be from there.
Reasonable.
And if all else fails, keep on the lookout for any suspicious-looking pumpkins. Well, it worked 4 times.
Yeah.
I think that's all the gourds of chaos there are, or ordaining guards.
There's one more pumpkin I know about, but I don't think he's going to be helpful.
What?
Oh, the King of Autumn.
Oh. Is that a fae?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. All right, well, that was it's been a long fighty day, so I'm gonna get some rest. Is there a place for us to stay on the boat while our boat is being fixed?
Yeah, we'll be able to make some room.
Thank you.
That shouldn't be a problem at all.
It's really, really good to see you again.
So glad to have you guys back.
How long is the journey to the Toad's Boardwalk expected to take?
That is something I don't remember from last time.
It depends what ship you take.
Well, part of that's going to depend on what ship we take. But if you want to keep with your ship, with the Regent, was it? We'll have to travel as a group with that one. And that'll take about... How long?
Oh, you're saying if you take along the ship that's towing the Regent?
Yes.
Probably a week.
Yeah, if we want to keep the ship or keep your ship with us, then it's going to be about a week. If not, we can get there a little faster. with just my ship.
No, we should keep the ship with us. It's who knows where it would go if it wasn't.
So this is an Asmodean ship, right? Or no, yeah. Correct?
This is the one we're on a Devil's Are?
No.
Yeah, this is a ship that I captured from, or that we captured from one of the Asmodean fleets.
Were all of the ships outfitted with, the big teleportation device?
Only the Devil's Ares.
Ah, and I take it that's a bigger ship than this one.
Is it bigger?
It's not. I mean, they're very large warships, but this ship is like a retrofitted like cargo ship. So it's actually one of the bigger ships that you guys have seen in the fleet. Also, you guys have seen those Devil's Are ships.
Right, but that's why I was asking if all of the ships had been outfitted with that.
Right. They apparently have not.
Have not.
No, and we've only managed to capture one of them, which say Pistonella is currently working on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have Pistonella and Pixo were the two.
Yep.
Okay.
And you haven't heard from any of the others?
Is long and only those two.
Okay, well, if everyone needs rest, then we should get rest.
Yeah.
Let me get some rooms set up. I'll head out and call for
someone.
What, a deckhand?
Sure.
Cabin boy? I don't know.
Captain Ron?
Heck yeah.
I'm
Admiral.
sorry. Wait, what? You just made a reference that I'm like, wow, that's obscure, dude.
I mean, I thought he was talking about like, a different TV show and movie captains. So.
Got it.
I mean,
Captain Hook.
Yeah, McHale's Navy, all that stuff.
Captain Tight Pants.
Captain America. Wait, no, different guy.
You find someone, Cat.
All right. What do we have for rooms available for my compatriots?
We're pretty full up, but we can make some room in the hold.
All right. That'll work for at least the temporary, and we'll figure things out as we continue. Go ahead and make some room. I'll let them know.
Okay. He goes off.
So I'll come back in and inform everybody of the pleasant quarters they'll be staying in.
Once again, we're cargo.
Less cargo and more. My boat's not particularly designed for a large crew, or this large of a crew.
At least you've eaten recently this time.
True.
We'll try not to fire off any large artillery this time.
Please do.
It's the try that makes it funny.
Things happen.
Agreed. I'm not even going to complain if we can find a place to sleep.
Yeah, a few minutes later, somebody comes by and says, Admiral?
Yes?
We've made some room in the hold.
All right. Show them the way. Get them settled in.
Yes, sir. Follow me, please.
Thank you.
You guys follow?
Sure.
Yep.
We follow.
This sailor takes you down a set of stairs and says, so the galley's all the way at the end, down that way, and then next to it, so down that hallway is going to be everybody else's cabins, and we'll take you down one more set of stairs here to the hold, and you guys go down and says, we've got all kinds of stuff going on, so just watch your step. And he opens a door, and it's just like there's a very large room that has been sectioned out of the hold, and it is just covered in junk. There's like pipes and pieces of machinery, some like 2x4s and like just like toolboxes and tackle boxes and just containers all over the place. And the sailor is like walking around, like lifting his legs up like all the way so that he doesn't like accidentally step on something and cause a cave-in.
Fun.
What do you do with all of this stuff?
Oh, me? I don't touch this. And he leads you guys around a particularly large pile. And as you guys walk past it, over to your right, you see a large workbench, and behind it is a person. This is a dragonborn female. She's green and is wearing like some overalls and is basically is like holding a large kind of carburetor looking thing and is like ratcheting something onto it. As you guys walk into view, she looks down, she like looks up at you guys, then looks back down, then like looks back up and her eyes go real wide.
Pistonella!
Hey.
What? Get out! And she throws what she's working on at you guys.
Ah!
I catch it.
I dodge it.
I just stand there looking confused.
All right. A wrench flies at Orem.
Now I duck.
Okay.
What?
What? She like just picks up a whole toolbox and like flings it at you guys.
Hold on. What's going on? Why are you attacking us?
Can you stop throwing things?
I was just I was
ghosts.
so worried about you guys, and I was scared, and now it's like coming out as aggression for some reason. And she like throws something else.
I catch
like
it.
nimbly dart over to her and try to like hug her.
Okay. Yep, you're able to get over to her, hug her, and like she's just like super tense, and then she just kind of like melts.
Oh.
And she starts sobbing.
Oh.
And she's like, I thought you guys were dead. And she's just crying.
Sparkle just holds on tight and like starts also crying.
Yeah.
Fortunately, rumors of our demise were somewhat exaggerated. It's good to see you.
She like blubbers something at you.
Thought you were dead too.
She like composes herself a little bit and just like she like wipes some snot away, which because of the arrangement of her nostrils takes up like needs to be like a curved motion around her mouth and nose. She like composes herself a little bit and just like so what have you guys been up to?
It's a long story, although varying lengths for each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, things are pretty bad.
Most recently, we've been dealing with the pillars.
Oh yeah, we saw that the sky had changed. So is that what you guys were doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more or less. We kind of, each of us became part of a mission. We had to help some friends finish up to take care of those.
Oh, that's nice. Friends are nice. Do you think they're going to be able to help us?
I think they already helped us as much as they can.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much stuck where they're at now.
Oh, okay. Here we've been, just fighting and trying to get things figured out. And she like makes like big quotation, air quotes. Did Longbeard Jackson tell you about what we've been dealing with?
A little bit. Your technology unfortunately wound up in the enemy's hands.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about that. The super solenoid was kind of my life's work, and now I don't really have the resources to make certainly more.
Oh.
I could potentially make one, but I'm waiting on some parts that are supposed to be arriving at the Toad's Boardwalk. So I guess if we wanted to use that for whatever, I could try and make like one really big one that could fit the whole fleet. But I don't know. That's still up in the air. We haven't decided on anything.
Well, our plan is to head to the Boardwalk and reconvene with everyone there, and then try to come up with next steps.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, if you guys still got your magic gear, I can take a look at some of it and see if there's any improvements I can make.
Sure. We don't have nearly as much gear as we
Sure.
did, unfortunately, but
Well, what happened to your gear?
Oh, various terrible things.
Mine was used as a focus for psychic attacks.
I lost all mine when I got turned into a rat.
You got what?
I got turned. I'm a were-rat. But don't worry, I won't turn into a rat monster. I'm not that kind of were-rat. I'm the kind that can only turn into a little rat.
You know, this whole time I thought we had it rough, but I guess you guys have kind of been through the ringer, huh?
Yeah. Asmodeus came up with tailored ways to keep all of us out of the game for a while.
Well, if you're heading to the Boardwalk anyway, we know some arms dealers there. So, of course, that would mean that you'd have to have money, which we seem to run through pretty fast.
Fortunately, we have actually a fair bit of it. We did some work for some very rich mages at the rectory.
Oh. Well, yeah, if you've got money to spend, then the Boardwalk's the place to do it. It used to be that finding a magic weapon of any caliber was very hard, but ever since this, I guess, war broke out, doesn't really feel like a war. It seems like it was over immediately. But anyway, ever since hostilities broke out, the vaults seem to have been opened. So there's a lot of stuff going around. There's whole crews that all they do is troll around for shipwrecks and also to islands that have recently just appeared, and they're just, looking for glowing swords and pieces of armor and things like that. So, and because the Boardwalk is neutral ground, a lot of it ends up there.
Good to know. We'll have to check that out because we could certainly use better equipment for whatever's next.
Yeah.
And we can pick up the parts for that solenoid of yours.
Yeah, that would be great. How are you guys getting around? You have a ship?
We do, though it's in bad shape, unfortunately. We got attacked by some Asmodean ships and weren't able to navigate around it. So it could definitely use your eyes on it.
Yeah, okay. I'll have a look at it. What class is it?
Wood.
Yeah.
What?
Magical Fae stuff.
Oh. Well, I don't know how useful I'll be at that, but I guess I can have a look at it.
Thank you.
Nobody tells me anything down here.
Schooner.
Well, to be fair, we just arrived.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, she walks over to Sakar and takes some of the things that he's caught and I'll just finish this up later. And I'll go have a look at your ship.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are okay. In whatever measure of okay you are.
I'm glad you're okay too.
She starts like putting some stuff away. She looks like she's gonna head out and look at your ship. And the sailor that was guiding you guys seems to have hidden behind a pile of stuff when things started flying, but he'll like come back out and be like, so your accommodations will be this way.
Thank you.
And he leads you to another part of the hold, which has been sectioned off kind of with like cubicles. And you guys each get a cubicle, which is actually fairly spacious. You know, there would be enough room for like a bed, a coffee table, and maybe a desk. You know, if those things were available, but as it is, you get a cot.
Cool.
And, you know, some blankets and stuff. So here you go. I think we're gonna post somebody down here, so if you need anything, just let them know.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. And he salutes and heads off.
That is so unnerving.
Which part?
Being saluted?
Being saluted.
Yeah, but you're
Aren't you?
royalty.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being saluted. Bowing, yes. Although it's not nearly as strange as people calling Hazard sir.
Well, you guys said you needed to sleep, so let's do that.
Sounds good.
All right. Everybody goes to sleep?
No.
Orem doesn't sleep.
All right. What does Orem do?
He meditates.
What's Ket doing in the meantime?
When was the last time Ket slept?
I mean, probably a while ago.
Probably do the same after going over any, like just adding new information to any paperwork or notes that he has. He'll go to sleep as well.
All right, so everybody goes to sleep. Does Ket have any sort of like wake up call or anything?
No. Most people are allowed to, like when we are on downtime, most people are allowed to relax as much as they can, other than watches. Okay. So there's no wake up unless something bad happens.
Okay.
So hopefully there's no wake up.
All right. Well, does Orem or Randez do anything in the in between hours between them getting enough rest and everybody else waking up?
I would like to go back up to the top of the deck, make my way up to the top of the deck, and just look out. And can I see how many boats are in this fleet, or is there just the one boat?
Yeah, you see about maybe just under 20 boats.
And they all are flying the same symbol?
No, none of them are really flying any symbols.
Well, I'll just look at all the boats.
Okay. What does Randez do?
I'll probably look into whatever Pistonella is working on and see if there's anything I can do to help, or just lend a hand, or any advice I can give.
Okay. You can go back to her shop and see what she was working on. So you can look at some of her work.
Maybe make some notes or anything.
All right. Well, eventually. Oh, go ahead.
Just refrain from actively tinkering with anything. Just
all right.
See.
Roll your willpower.
Botch.
Yeah. Okay. So eventually, the rest of you get enough sleep and wake up. What do you guys do?
Go to the galley and see if there's any breakfast.
Okay. What about Sakar?
Do we know what time of day it actually is?
No. Your internal clocks are pretty much shot at this point. You guys went like a good solid, like probably like 36 hours without sleeping. So it might be like noon. It feels like maybe it's noon.
The galley sounds like a good place as well, especially if it's like noon.
So on the way back, you guys pass through Pistonella's shop, and you see Randus there, scribbling some stuff down.
Hey, Randus, we're gonna get some food.
Okay. I'll join you, I suppose.
Randus finds a good spark plug to use as a paperweight and heads up. You guys go down the way the sailor told you and make your way to the galley. It is unlike the hall, which has several partitions and has been fitted to be other things. This is actually supposed to be a galley, and it's actually supposed to feed a fairly large amount of people because it's a large ship. So there are several kind of cafeteria style tables set up, just like long tables, and there's a place where you like stand in line and several cooks like put stuff on your tray.
Does it look like anything we've recognized?
Looks like it mostly looks like kind of like traveling stuff, like stuff that's gonna keep. So kind of
Beans.
like oatmeal-y looking stuff, beans, and it's very quickly becomes clear that at some point these guys just got a hold of like a particularly large shipment of pickles. So there's just like sliced pickles and fried pickles, and like you can try the famous pickle dog, which is just an open pickle with like some beans in it.
Oh boy.
I'll try some of those.
Sounds like something I would actually eat.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, beans are great, pickles are great.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's you guys sit down to eat, it's actually not that bad. Unless you feel that your character wouldn't be into that, then yeah, it sucks. But since this food is actively hard to screw up, it'll taste fine.
Cool.
There's a handful of other people there other than like the cooks. It looks like you guys probably missed like the actual like lunch shift. So the people that are there are probably like the people that hold the fort while everybody eats and are now eating themselves. What else does Orem do? Orem can figure out that this armada appears to be made up of maybe 8 large warships, 6 small attack ships, and 6 tankers or galleys, basically 6 cargo ships.
Okay, I'm going to store that information in my head for later.
Okay.
If it's needed. I'll wander off and try to find some food. I'm hungry as well.
Okay. Eventually, Orem makes his way to the galley as well. And is Ket going to go eat after he wakes up?
Yeah, Ket'll do his usual rounds, making sure everything is going smoothly and nothing weird happened over the course of the night.
Yo ho ho, Captain.
Yep. So yeah, Orem makes his way in. He is offered some beans and pickles and oatmeal.
Could be worse.
And then there's you see the like maybe 3 sailors on the other table that are eating. They will like stand up and stand at attention. And the cooks as well will go at attention as Ket walks through the door.
Hello, Ket.
I see you guys woke up.
Yeah, it's been a while since we slept.
It seemed like it. I assume the accommodations were at least reasonable.
Mm-hmm. A little cluttered, but that's fine.
Yeah. I would say once we get back to dock, we'll actually be able to get everybody quarters as they should have.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. You seem to have Your crew seems to really respect you.
Yeah. Turns out being able to take on Gith without problems is a real easy way to earn respect.
It's fair. They're pretty intimidating.
That they are. But we've managed, so I say, are there any Gith congregating at the boardwalk?
You'd assume there would be. I mean, nobody is stopped from entering the boardwalk on the basis of like allegiance, religion, or race. So there could well be some Gith there. You know for a fact that there are Asmodean priests set up at the Toad's boardwalk.
I say it also helps that I'm able to keep everything away from us at the boardwalk.
Sure. Though I assume that Gama doesn't really like his different factions causing fights there.
He does not. But as long as it doesn't disrupt the flow of his businesses, he's not particularly bothered. So just be ready to see some less than friendly faces when we get there.
Fair enough.
Hardly a change, to be honest.
So Rob, did you decide like how you guys are going?
I thought we decided previously that we'd be staying with the ship, right? Or staying with the oh. I guess we could go to the other ship.
Yeah, you haven't gotten an update on how their ship is doing.
Have you heard anything about your ship yet?
No, I haven't checked in with Pistonella. Or did you do that, Randus, when you were there? In her workshop?
No, I never saw her there. So I guess she might be still on the ship.
Well, we can go take a look.
All right. Yeah. Let's find out how your ship is doing, and then we can figure out what ship to take back to the boardwalk.
Sounds good.
Well, it takes a while to, flag things down and get over to the other ship, but eventually you guys are able to. And you find Pistonella over by the crane. She seems to be moving away from it as though likely she has come back from your ship.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. So I had a look at your ship. I mean, it's probably going to take us a couple days to fix, and I'll oversee it because none of these guys are really particularly well versed on non-astral ships. So, but it's just none of the damage is really threatening the structure. It's just, kind of a puncture pattern from where you guys scraped up against something. That's the main issue.
Well, that's good.
Have you slept at all?
Have I slept? Yeah. Nowadays, I just sleep a couple hours every few hours.
I see.
That seems to work pretty well.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just kind of was checking out your workshop there. I made some notes, so I might look them over.
Oh yeah, sure. Wow, yeah, no, it's in all the commotion, I forgot that any of you guys are actually useful for other things besides blowing things up.
No.
But no offense. I'm sorry, that came out wrong.
No, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I mean, Randus is also very good at blowing things up.
I know. But yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. Do you think the idea of a super solenoid is viable?
Yeah, I mean that might have some potential uses, but yeah, definitely. Again, speaking of blowing things up, could be also the possibility of catastrophic failure.
I'm
I'm
working on this theory, and I think part of reason the solenoid originally was so unstable is because it depends where you're going. So if you think of everything in the astral sea as being on a grid, essentially, just to visualize it, I'm not saying that it's actually a grid, but if you go, say, along the lines, you have less strain on the solenoid, but if you, say, cut across a square, you might have more. Now imagine if that grid was completely incongruous to any sort of normal reckoning, because chances are what's really affecting it are the islands. So there might be islands that are easier to go to and islands that are harder to go to.
Yeah, makes sense. It's more or less malleable, so to say, on the more or less structure of the universe.
Yeah. Some sort of, yeah, some islands pull, some islands push, I think. Honestly, that might explain why the Devil's Ours only travel to and from Waypoint.
Huh. Yeah.
So if that's the case, it'll probably, whatever we come up with will probably be stable enough to get to Waypoint if that's what you wanted to do.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Eventually, yes.
Okay. Well, it'll be a couple days, so yeah, it's probably gonna take us. I mean, I don't know how fast this thing is, but it'll take us a week at least to get to the boardwalk at the speed that we've been traveling. So if you guys just want to hang tight and get your ship fixed, if that's gonna be faster.
Yeah, let's do that.
It might be, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me get some more hands and we'll try and have this fixed for you. Anything else I should know about it?
Oh, it's got a Fey Fox, and it's super magical, and it makes its own food.
Among other things.
No,
It's very, very strange.
That would explain the pile of potatoes we found in the galley.
It does like potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll get to work on it, and if we run into the fox, I guess we'll try to like shoo it into a bag or something.
Oh no, she
so it doesn't get hurt.
talks.
She talks?
She's a Fey
Yes.
Fox.
Oh. Okay.
The Fae.
Well,
My recommendation is to listen, but not terribly closely.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she says is very clearly a riddle that you don't understand. So it'll probably make you more. Never mind. You'll find out.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
and I recommend trying the blood sausage should it be available. It's quite good.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let me get a few more hands, and we'll get cracking on this.
Are we able to take some of the food from your ship? As you saw, our options aren't particularly great, and I assume the men would appreciate even something like potatoes because it'll be different.
I assume so.
You could try.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess we can try and move that over as well.
Send you a couple of people to help move that then, Pistanella.
Okay. And she goes off to get her crew together.
Well, that answers some questions. So I guess we stick as a fleet for the week.
You probably don't want to stick as a fleet, like for the whole fleet. I mean, there are like other missions. A, there are other missions to be run, and B, you don't ever want to be in one place altogether for a long time, but you can, definitely keep a handful of ships together for this.
Yeah. So I guess we stick with this. My ship will stick with this one for the week.
Or however long it takes to get the ship seaworthy. Astral seaworthy? Skyworthy.
Starworthy. All right. So you guys have a couple days to kill. What do you guys do?
That's a very good question.
I don't know. Is there stuff for us to specifically do is to help with the Armada's efforts?
Well, you do have updated information from various areas, so we can go ahead and get that added to things. So I can get as much information to Pixo as soon as possible once we arrive. My crew can pretty much handle themselves unless we run into a raid. At which point, obviously, you're welcome to jump in and assist. But I think sounds like you guys could actually use a few days to relax and take it a little easy while we plan our next few steps. Since we have some forced downtime.
Well, what do you and the crew do to relax?
What do I always do to relax?
Gamble?
You know me.
Play games.
It's been a while since I've gambled or played a game. I'm in.
All right. Well, let's head back to my cabin and we can play some cards.
It sounds great.
Who all is going to play cards?
I'll go.
I'll play.
Okay. Everybody's in.
Right. Perhaps I can be the admiral before we're done.
Yeah, I don't think that he's playing for that.
It's hard to say.
Maybe you'll get a ship or two.
Mm-hmm. Even just a nice clipper.
I mean, someone with actual military experience leading this ragtag bunch may not be the worst call.
Yeah, that's why you have like field marshals, or
exactly
whatever the Navy equivalent of that is.
I guess more recent military experience, I should say.
Yeah, you guys can sit down to a nice, friendly game of cards.
Hooray!
Who's out first?
Orem.
Okay. Orem gets cleaned out.
On the first hand.
Yeah.
That seems right. Somehow you can see his cards reflected in his eyes.
That's what always happens.
You can't tell if the suits are blue or green.
No, they're red or black.
No, depends on the deck you're playing with.
My eyes are red and black. Your eyes are blue and or green.
Yeah.
Read the character sheet, Stephen. Jeez.
All right. So what does Orem do after he's out?
I'm going to go see if I can't. I wonder if little Faye Fox is Drumstick. If she's still on the boat, or if she's come over to our boat.
You haven't heard anything about her going anywhere else, so presumably she's still on the Regent.
Okay. I'll see if I can't make my way over to the Regent.
Okay. Well, you guys are in pretty close formation, so you're pretty sure that if you take a running jump, you can just teleport onto the ship that has a Regent.
All right. I'll judge the distance and check the airflow, and then whoop whoop and beep.
Okay.
Like a finger, put it in the air.
Yep. Orem teleports over. When you look back, you notice that your heels are like right at the edge. So you got that, that margin of error that you gave yourself was probably too small. But it's good to know for the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Drumstick.
You see her pop out from the Regent, which is still being held up by a crane.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I just thought I'd come over and see if you needed any company or if you needed anything.
Oh, no, I got a lot of new friends.
Oh, yes. A lot of people coming and going, huh?
Yeah. People coming in and taking stuff and coming back and bringing stuff. I've been bringing stuff, too.
Oh, what have you been bringing?
I've been bringing these. And she, reaches down and pulls up what appears to be a flag.
Oh, what are these?
They're flags.
Well,
and she
yes.
So she's like holding it with her mouth, and like she like shakes her head and like, flutters the flag around.
Oh. Okay. What are these flags of?
I don't know. Maybe they're for little tiny countries.
Oh, maybe. Where'd you find these?
I found them on this other ship.
Oh, on this other ship over here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I recognize any of these flags?
Yeah, they're like the flags that they used to communicate between ships.
Oh, you probably shouldn't have taken these. These are it's called semaphore. It's how the ships communicate with one another.
It is?
Yeah. So
she picks one up and like flips it around. What's the ship saying now?
I don't know, but I look out over at one of the other ships to see if
they can't see her from where they're at.
Yeah. I don't know that particular flag formation.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, can I keep this green one?
It actually might be better to give it back.
All right, I'll put them back.
Thank you. So it's been a while. When was the last time you were in the Feywild exactly?
Yesterday.
Well, I mean, before we did the traveling. Like,
I guess about a week before that.
I'm sorry, what?
About a week before that.
And were you traveling then?
Yeah, I was on the ship.
Yeah, no. When you weren't on the ship, or have you always been on the ship?
No. I helped those guys find the ship.
Ah, okay.
I'm very helpful.
Uh-huh. I can tell.
I'm learning semaphore.
Yeah, more like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yes, very much so. And sometimes you need to go like this.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't have thought to do that.
No, really. A lot of people think that they should be doing that, but really they should be doing this.
Oh.
And sometimes this. And if you do this, this, and this, you'll probably get a message back.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Do you need anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just checking because, we're all over there and you're over here, and I don't want you to be lonely or left out.
No, there's lots of people here.
Yeah, but they keep coming and going, and, at some point they're going to maybe not come back.
Oh, it's okay. None of my friends came back.
Yeah, mine either. It's kind of sad, right?
It's part of life.
Yeah, I understand.
People leave, and sometimes they come back, but sometimes they don't.
Yeah, but it certainly hurts when they don't.
Yeah, but you get used to it. That's why you enjoy them while they're there. And you play games and you hide their tools. It's fun.
Hiding their tools?
Yeah, hiding their tools in the ship.
Whose tools are you hiding?
Everybody's.
Oh, that's probably not a good idea either. I know it's a fun game for you, but for them, they get kind of cranky.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll give them back.
Oh, thank you. I have an idea, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go hide something, and then when I'm gone, you can go and find it. But I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
But you'll still have to find it, but you can't look and see where I'm going.
Oh, okay.
Or does that sound like a fun game?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Okay, and then if you ever want to come over to the other ship, I don't know if you can make it over to the other ship. But if you want to come over to the other ship, you can certainly do that too.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of things to do on that ship. It's very big.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, turn around.
She turns around.
I'll take one of the semaphore flags.
Okay.
And I'll go hide it way, 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 way down in a cupboard, way behind a bunch of other things in the galley.
Oh, okay.
Then I'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she's asleep.
Oh, okay. I'll just scratch her behind the ears.
Okay.
And I'll look around to see if there's a crane or something going back to the ship.
There really isn't. They're floating pretty close together.
Okay.
So if you're packing another, you can just like rest. You can take a short rest.
Yeah.
And then you can use your phase step to get back.
All right. Zip, zip, whoop, whoop.
Is that the noise it makes?
It is now.
So in the meantime, who's out next?
Probably gets too rich for Randus's blood.
Randus may have had a good hand, but he's just gonna bail because he's got bills to pay. Okay, what does Randus do once he's out?
I'm thinking I'm gonna go look more into that super solenoid idea.
Yeah, you can go down to Pistonella's workshop and start drawing up some theoreticals.
Is this one that's gonna need like another set or two of perfect stars?
No. Honestly, Pistonella's designs are really energy efficient. As far as the energy in, they're not very stable as far as energy out. That's the issue. So assuming that you had the right parts and the correct amount of energy, you could make basically those rings that open up, basically give you that tesseract to get to someplace else on the astral sea. The issue would be stabilizing them. And once you start applying the idea that, yeah, what if certain islands are 0 and then some islands are -1 and some islands are +1, it actually opens up a lot of extra calculations that you can look into. Like, it takes a while, but essentially that greatly influences the stability once you realize that one that you were assuming was there is actually a variable.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'll start crunching on that, seeing maybe if we need to send out some sort of buoys or something to determine what islands would be what.
Yeah.
Start
Okay.
making plans for that kind of thing, maybe.
All right. That's good. That sounds like a plan. So at some point while Sakar, Little Sparkle, and Ket are still playing, there's a knock on Ket's cabin door.
Enter.
Sailor comes in. Sir, we just got some strange signals from I don't know if we named that second ship.
I don't think
we just got some strange semaphore signals from the Super Rhino.
What do you mean strange?
Well, it's looked like they were signaling for like a warning, like we were sailing too close to them, like we were sailing too close to them, but they weren't sending them at us. It's actually the Wee Baron that spotted them, and they said that they were weird because they were very like wide, and they described them as flowery.
Where did Orm go?
Is that the blonde guy?
Yeah.
Well, I saw him on the deck a little while ago, but I don't know where he is now. Should I go find him?
Yeah. Signal back to the Super Rhino and see if you can ask for details.
Oh, all right, sir.
Thank you.
He leaves. Who's out next?
As much as I hate to say it, I think probably Sakar.
Okay. All right, Sakar's out. What does he do?
I'm gonna head up to the deck and see if there are any interesting pirate folk.
Well, there are. This crew is very motley. There's like old fogies and young whippersnappers and humans and tieflings and dragonborn. Couple orcs probably. Some of the other ships have Kenku, but there's no Kenku on this ship that you've seen.
Everybody
the Kenku
looking
tend to like, what's a good way of putting it? Flock together.
Why? Why?
So they can trigger their tactics.
That doesn't only work with Kenku.
But they know it works with Kenku.
That's fair.
It's like, why would you wait for a human to step into flock tactics territory where all Kenku already know that that's what you're trying to do?
That's fair.
And then you can trigger each other's. So yeah, there's lots of people around.
Anybody look like they got a story? Maybe a little exclamation mark above their head.
Yeah, there's no exclamation marks, but there's a couple guys with like a word balloon with 3 dots.
I'll walk up to one of them and press X.
Okay. They're like, "Oh, hey, you're one of the guys that were sailing around in that normal ship, that like water ship."
I am one of the guys, yes.
Oh, that's weird. Where'd you get that ship?
Well, I sort of lucked into it, but I believe it comes from the Feywild.
Feywild, huh? I had a cousin went to the Feywild once.
Did he come back?
Yeah, but he came out weird.
That describes traveling on the ship, actually.
Yeah, it's like he was real dumb guy, and then when he came back, he was like smarter because everything he said would like rhyme, and he had like powers and stuff. It was weird stuff. It's like he met some lady and she gave him powers and made him smarter. Is that something that happens, or was he pulling my leg?
Things happen. Did he by any chance say anything about eating something or taking a coin, perhaps?
No, just like, I mean, yeah, maybe she like gave him like a wand. Because he had like this really fancy stick, like it's like it's like if you take a branch, but it's like real fancy, like a really fancy branch, like maybe off like a really fancy tree. Yeah, like that.
Do you still know this person?
Well, I haven't seen him in a long time. So I don't know that I could get in contact with him, especially with all the communications being down and such.
It might be best not to, just in case.
Yeah, he came back. He was weird. He came back weird.
Again, yes, that happened. So, how did you come to be on the ship of Longbeard Jackson?
Yes. Well, I been a sailor all my life, and just mostly been sailing commercial, out of Dim Island. Just kind of minding my thing, and then one day the Asmodeans show up, and they're like, "Hey, y'all work for us now," and we're like, "Okay, well, how much are you paying us?" And they're like, "Nothing." So, I guess I was a slave for a while, and then we had like a little bit of a revolt. And then we were just kind of sailing around, and then we ran into the Armada, and they took us in, which is good because our ship was pretty busted up by then. So we just kind of had to call that one good. Although we have used some of its parts. Actually, some of them big old whatchamacallums. Some of the supports came from our old ship. He points out like the Gatling guns.
Oh, where did those come from?
Oh, those Asmodean guys came up with these. We've been stripping them off their ships whenever we catch them.
Makes sense. They are formidable.
Yeah, they like spin around and shoot a bunch of led, I guess.
Mm. And how is your admiral as far as a leader?
Well, if I tell you, you keep it between us.
Oh, certainly. No, just you and I.
Well, he's certainly a fine commander, very smart. He's like, go over here, and we're like, why would we ever go over there? And then it turns out that being over there is like the best possible place you could be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. I don't know, he's a little weird. He's got like this weird like metal critter, and he talks to it. And he's like, I don't know, there's a lot of talk going around, like maybe he's magic. And like you shouldn't talk about him behind his back because like he's really hard to see sometimes. Like he'll just be walking around and he like disappears or like blends into the shadows or something. It's weird.
Oh, I'm
And he
familiar with that.
whips around real quick to see if he's around. Like,
he's not here.
yeah, he doesn't seem to be.
And he's still playing cards.
Oh yeah, he likes playing cards. He's kind of got this thing going where he cleans out the crew, and then he gives the pot to like kind of like an employee of the month type thing. So if you do really good, you get your money back after you lose it to him. So that's good, right?
I suppose, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. This place is weird. I grew up in a small island, didn't know a lot of people. Now we got there's like a big old minotaur in that ship over there, and there's like Kenku and Dragonborn and tieflings.
I've spent some time with the Dragonborn and the Kenku.
Mm-hmm.
They can be fine individuals.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're all in this together, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no reason to discriminate nobody, especially if they're like helping.
True.
So you guys part of the Armada now? You guys gonna stick around?
Well, it certainly seems that way. Although sticking around is not necessarily our forte.
Mm-hmm. Don't know what you mean by that, but okay.
We travel.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, we all travel. None of these ships stick together very long. It's just, do you come back? Or I guess meet up at the rendezvous.
We do come back, although not always quite the same as we left.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, it's getting to be about my shift. So you have a good day and stay out of trouble.
Oh. Good talking with you.
And if you were looking for that funny guy with the goggles, he went down in the hold.
Oh, good. I was actually going to find him.
Yeah. All right, we'll catch you later. And he goes and grabs a mop, starts swabbing.
Sakar heads down to the funny guy with the goggles.
Okay. Yep, sure enough, you find Randus in Pistonella's shop. He's actually managed to uncover a separate workbench out of parts. So when you get down, he has a workstation that's kind of like across the way from Pistonella's, who is not present. And he seems to be looking over some papers.
Does Pistonella know that you're using her workbench?
I mean, I guess I really haven't asked.
That's what I expected.
I hope she doesn't mind, but no, her work's just very fascinating here. Some really neat ideas. It could be pretty handy if we can make this work.
What does that notation mean?
That one?
Yeah, it points to a 0.
Yeah, just 0, nothing.
Oh,
Between
I
integer
probably should
between
have known.
-1 and +1.
All right, thank you. I meant in terms of what you're trying to build or rebuild or.
Well, where she's come up with this idea of a super solenoid, basically,
Hmm.
and she thinks really the key to making this work is dependent upon various islands, resistance, or acceptance of the basically the gateway that we go through when back on the old ship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is basically be a neutral one at an island in theory. And so yeah, right now I'm just kind of trying to find a way that we can gather data on the various islands so we can best determine how we can travel even faster and amongst the astral sea.
And maybe even create a big enough portal for the entire fleet.
Yes.
Interesting. Do I recognize any of the islands on the charts?
Yeah, sure. You recognize most of them. You've been actually looking at, like, this literally might be your charts.
Okay.
If they're charts that Randus had access to.
So what's the notation on the bleak forest? Positive, negative, or 0?
Well, he hasn't quite gotten to figuring out what it is on individual ones.
And I probably don't really have enough context to try and be helpful in that context, huh?
You might. At the very least, you have like an active working knowledge of all of these stars since you've been navigating. So, like at the very least, if Randus is like, oh, I wonder what it's like to this place, you know where it is on the chart. You can find it for like you can definitely help, like at the very least as an assistant, and then if you figure out actually what he's doing, you can probably help out more.
So can I correlate from, well, I know for sure the 4 islands where we've left behind the Gordians.
Mm-hmm.
Can I correlate any information on those 4 islands and maybe see if they were more or less susceptible?
Well, here's the interesting part once you start thinking about it. From Randus's preliminary work, you're pretty sure that the time you spend in the Feywild while traveling also correlates to that variable.
So when the ship is traveling through the Feywild, it may be somehow using the same principles.
Yep. Most likely it's sort of using a reverse version of the same principles where things that you could sail to or maybe make a cosmic jump to easier take longer because it's less interesting or something. Like you do have to, like, you when thinking about the region have to factor in the fact that it has a personality.
Right.
But yeah, it does. There's something there.
We'll definitely share that. See, if you look, Warden Duthane, if you look here, your notations correlate to the way that the Eventide region travels. Well, not exactly, but look, see, here. Here, the indication might be that it would be easier, but the Eventide Regent, when we travel, does this. And Sakar makes a notation literally the opposite direction to where it looks like a pair of reverse parentheses.
Huh. That is interesting.
Maybe the ship is using some of the same principles as Pistonella Super Solenoid.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. Let me think on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start crunching those numbers.
Okay.
Sometimes nature's helpful.
Yes.
Hey, man, if you plug yourself into enough electrical sockets, eventually your hair is going to stick up one way or the other. That's the car's rule of life right there.
Sure. Okay, you guys work on that for a while. So, what do Cat and Little Sparkle talk about while they're the only ones left playing?
So what's it like being an admiral?
Not as taxing as I would have expected.
Oh,
Well, every time I every time I get separated from the group anymore, I end up in charge of large groups of people. And once, and this has been both the hardest and the easiest.
how so?
Well, I mean, there's more going on, obviously, than the last time I was separated, but I know my crew can at least handle themselves in
How did you
dire
recruit all of
situations.
them?
Various means. Some of them are followers of gods that have gone by the wayside. Some of them were hijacked into Asmodeus's fleets, and we rescued them when we hijacked ships. Some of them rescued themselves and joined us when they found out what we do.
And have you, I don't know, I guess heard anything from Guy or Asmodeus, or do they know? Do your crew know kind of your history?
Only a few know exactly who I am. Part of that was to help prevent anybody from coming after me, especially after I put out the bounty on the fish.
Makes sense.
Part of that was I didn't want stories getting around of what may have happened.
How do you mean?
Actually, quick question, Rodrigo. Are any of the members of the Armada people that would have been, other than Pistonella and Pixo, are they people that would have been part of the Rutile Island crew? Like, just even no names?
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably not, because the Rutile crew was kind of low on like sailors. So you've been able to track down some of the no names, and they're just kind of off doing their thing, like either being mercenaries or like in hiding or whatever. So really the only ones from Rutile Island are Pixo and Pistonella.
Mostly, I didn't want any rumors circulating about who I was in a good or bad fashion, as it could just distract from our current mission.
Fair enough.
That and adopting the Longbeard Jackson persona helped spread better rumors.
What's the Longbeard Jackson persona like?
Well, honestly, it depends on who we're dealing with. Use it to try and scare any minor Asmodeans. Help any minor non or anybody being oppressed, and doing whatever needs to be in between.
Seems like you've done some really good work.
Oh, once Randus dropped off his gift, I knew I needed to be doing something more.
It's extremely weird how Brandis's time situation worked out.
Almost everything about Randus is extremely weird at this point.
I suppose. It just seemed especially weird.
Does he even sleep anymore?
I think he maybe sleeps a little bit. I'm honestly not really sure. It's not great.
It does not sound great.
I'm glad you escaped, got out okay, or let go, and that you've been able to make something of your time.
Let go and hopefully underestimated.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to, it's interesting because he didn't underestimate most of us. He went through great effort to subdue us. Perhaps I do wonder why he let you go at all. Does he really have some sort of sense of honor?
Some. I think it has more to do with the alley.
That he would like lose credibility there if he didn't give you some chance.
Something like that. Attacking your what is the opposite of a patron?
A
non-patron.
A creator?
Charge?
No. Oh, sorry. I was thinking internet terms.
Beneficiary?
Yeah. So yeah, attacking
Flunky.
your beneficiary is not particularly is not looked upon particularly well.
Are you still his beneficiary?
Haven't been able to figure that out.
Have you? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. I mean, that presumably that'd be something that I would need to know as soon as possible.
Yeah, as you don't think anything's changed as far as that?
As far as the alley goes, it seems as such.
Huh.
Which is why I think that's why I think that he let me go, or gave me the options he gave me.
What were the options?
I could leave, I could join him, or I could have a nice little island to myself.
Were you tempted?
For a moment, I thought about bringing as many people to the island as I could, but I knew that wasn't that would only end in disaster eventually.
So do you need to find another sponsor? Or is he still not able to attack you?
As far as I'm aware, I have enough pull that I don't necessarily need to have a sponsor of my own any longer, but I don't know how to go about ditching him.
You should probably figure that out if he gets any sort of like power or status from you. We don't want anything more possibility from him to connected with you.
Fair. Though my understanding of the rules is a lot more limited without Guy.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. And I suppose the robot assistant that Randus makes you doesn't have anything to do with the alley.
Not that I've been able to find out.
Well, do you have I don't know, maybe it's worth paying a visit and trying to figure it out?
Probably. Unfortunately, that was also Guy's responsibility.
Oh, so you can't get there without him?
I can if I'm summoned.
I see. That's a problem, because what if you get summoned when we need you?
I have enough of a pull that I can hold off summons, at least.
That's good.
It's that was the biggest reason why I needed Asmodeus when I did.
Did he upped your status so that you could resist that?
I had lost my former patron, and
Right.
the
Raven Queen.
yeah, she was not particularly happy about me selling off her temple in Shalai.
I can't imagine.
I can understand why. How are the others holding up after their time?
Depends. Sakar is doing a lot better now than when we first found him. He was really hurt by what was done to him, and he was controlled by a vial of blood from a ancestor of his, and he's worried it's his mom. Brandis, I mean, he's such a good-spirited guy. It's I think that's probably the only thing that kept him sane, given what he's been through. And Orem wasn't even gone that long. As far as he was concerned, he thought it was like days or maybe even less since we got ambushed by Asmodeus. But he was really bitter.
Oh. That would explain some of the anger.
I guess maybe it's fresh. He hasn't had time to think about it. I was really angry at first, too.
I tried to find you.
Oh. Yeah. It was probably hard. I wasn't really myself for most of the time. You might have even spotted me and thought it was just a regular rat. It could be worse. Asmodeus apparently had Sakar trying to find me, too. And having him find and kill any rat that he came across.
Yeah, that's... I was there for that order.
Oh.
When I slipped away, that was the first thing he told Sakar as I was leaving.
The killing seems like a waste. Why go through all the trouble of turning me into a were-rat if he was going to kill me? I assumed that the transformation was to keep me from being resurrected, but I guess it was good psychological torture.
Oh, I say Sparkle had the fish at the time, didn't she?
No, I didn't. I didn't have the fish. You had the fish, right?
I know. I grabbed I think you had the fish, and I grabbed the haversacks on the way out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I had the fish when I got transformed, but I left all my gear behind when I got transformed.
So, yeah, I think he was afraid of the starfish.
No, I mean, that's reasonable, but I left it behind when he turned me into a rat.
Yeah, but he turned you into a rat before you could use it.
That is true. Oh, I see. So he wasn't trying to prevent me from being resurrected so much as, still, I just assumed, but it's fair. It's to be able to neutralize me immediately before I could sneak off or attack him or do anything.
Yeah.
That's almost more flattering.
Why he sent Orem's gem away is beyond me.
Yeah, why not keep it? I mean, it was powering a significant lieutenant, I guess, who was where did we find him? It wasn't. Oh, it was it Great Tiger? No, what island was that guy on?
He wasn't on an island. He was on a platform.
Yep.
Oh. So yeah, it was powering a significant lieutenant, so maybe it was a calculated risk.
Yeah.
I mean, was it that big of a risk if you consider what exactly it took to free Orem?
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, it's like, I mean, and we only were able to free him with the help of the Queen's irreproachable voice. So he probably wasn't really anticipating that. I mean, we weren't even sure that she was able to come back from the dead.
That's fair.
I mean, Sakaar was more of a calculated risk in that he got put away in the island, but he really did a number on the Bleak Forest. So it was a good decision on Asmodeus's part, presumably.
Yeah. I would say the control he had over him was
terrible.
Exactly.
But I think it's good to all be back together.
It really is. It's for the first time in almost 2 years, I think we connect. I feel like we're able to do this again.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been that long. That's the worst thing about it, is that we lost so much time. But I guess that was also part of the intention.
We need to get to one of the bastions.
Bastions?
The 3 remaining of the Pentatheon.
Yeah. That'd be great. I mean, I don't know about Shalai and how much that's gonna help us at all, but considering that people think that Arathis is dead and it's pretty much entirely under Lolth's control, but Eldralil or Kunkune seem to be likely places for very powerful allies. We should take the time in the Toad's Boardwalk to arm up.
Yeah, do you have funds? Nothing there is cheap.
I mean, I've got a fair amount that we got from helping out at the Sage's Rectory, and a bunch of residuum too we might be able to trade for.
Oh. All right. I say keeping an armada armed is expensive.
I can only imagine. Did you lose any of your gear?
I am only down to a few things at this point with any real magic to them.
Yeah, to sell stuff off?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
Funding my escape and then funding the armada.
Well, we can see if we can regain some things.
I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out. If anything, we can try and, instead of buy, do the opposite and put Randus to work.
Yeah, it's true. Though it might attract some attention. Maybe, I mean, as relaxing as sitting around and playing cards is, maybe I can help train some of your people. Teach them how to stab things, or stealth, or other things.
Yeah, if you want to, we can see if anybody wants to learn to be a little sneakier.
Cool. That'd make me feel useful.
Absolutely. Why haven't we heard back about the Super Rhino yet?
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Maybe we should check that out.
Sure.
Call this one a draw.
Split the pot.
Yep.
All right. How about we take a break right there this week, everybody? Thanks so much for checking us out. A lot of good discussions going on. It's probably been a week for all that stuff to happen, I think, Rodrigo, right? Probably not. All right.
Probably not.
We will be back next time. If you have questions, podcast@majorspoilers.com. Don't forget, if you are a patron at the silver level or higher, you can head over to our Discord and take part in our monthly GM Roundtable, a live exclusive for our patron members, where we teach you or talk to you and help you become a better GM at the table. So until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2020 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/yourplan. Only Omaha Steaks gives you the freedom to set your menu your way with no commitments. Choose extra-aged, hand-carved steaks, plump and juicy air-chilled chicken, and so much more. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Want to change your menu? No problem. Swap items, skip a shipment, or cancel at any time with no questions asked. You're in control to get what you want when you want it, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. At Omaha Steaks, it's all about you. Visit omahasteaks.com/yourplan to sign up for recurring shipments and get 12 free burgers, a $431 per year value, and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.